Hey, I'm Jason with Krazy Beaver Tools. We just got this new product directly from Australia. It's a new product, I think, in the US. Australia, it's been out there for a while. I know that this company called Skid Row Recovery Gear, they actually had been working with MaxTrax back when MaxTrax first got started, or around that same time, from what I understand. This new product that we got in, it's directly related to helping people do trailer recoveries. And what we mean by trailer recoveries is a lot of times when you're overlanding by yourself or you're at the lake, your vehicle could get stuck and bogged down by trying to get out and pulling something heavy, such as a trailer. When that happens, you got to disconnect or hook up another vehicle to your vehicle to help tow it out. In some cases, you can't even do that because it's too heavy. So what they came out with is this product called Skid Row, which allows you to lower the tire down off the trailer and then disconnect the vehicle and then run a tow strap from the vehicle to the trailer and to drag it out. In my particular case, you know, it was probably 24 years ago, I was at a lake and we got stuck with our boat, and the only way to get the vehicle out was to disconnect the boat from the trailer, and then we were able to get out, and then we had to do a whole series of maneuvering to get the boat. Luckily it was on a hill and we were able to turn the trailer and walk the trailer down to the lake. But a lot of times you're not able to do that. And the crazy thing is, we had people all around us, but nobody wanted to help. And because they couldn't figure out how we were going to get out of that situation. Now, if we had had this piece of equipment plus a tow rope, we could have gotten further out with our vehicle, which allowed us to get traction on hard ground. And then we could have just dragged the boat, which would have worked out really well. So apparently this could be used in snow, mud, sand, in any situations such as that in which you need to disconnect your vehicle. Usually I would guess that you're by yourself, but I have seen some videos where the vehicle got stuck and then they used another vehicle with a dynamic rope, kinetic energy rope, in order to try to get it out, and it still didn't work. So anyway, we just got it from Australia. We're gonna check it out. So we just unboxed the Skid Row, and it looks like it just has 3 pieces. There's no directions in it. It looks like it has a strap that goes across it, and then we have this plastic piece that goes inside. The material, I mean, it's solid. From what I understand, it's the same material that they make the MaxTraxes out of. So we know that's been tested and tried well over a decade now. So if it's the same material, the same plastic, I have no doubt that it'll be a high quality piece of equipment. Now, what we're about to do is we're gonna go take this out, and we're actually gonna use it with our car hauler, because usually we have the Jeep on there, or we're gonna have the Can-Am on there. And odds are we're gonna get stuck in sand pulling those. Now, in a real world scenario, we may unload everything, we may not unload, just depends on how sandy it is. But having an extra piece of equipment is essential to helping with good recoveries and not damaging other items. I think that, I'm not sure how it's gonna hook up, because our trailer, our car hauler, doesn't have a tire. So it just has a big footprint on it. I would assume it can fit right in here, and then we'll have to strap it down. So I guess we're gonna take it out on our property. Trailer's gonna be empty, and then we'll run a strap around it and then tow it. And so we can see how this actually works. We have sand and weeds, and we're just gonna drag it through everything and see how it reacts and whether this thing's gonna turn sideways or keep going straight. All right, let's go. Okay, for the purpose of this video, we came down on our property. We have a 4-wheel drive diesel truck. It's in 2-wheel drive. It obviously got stuck in the sand already pulling the trailer. And the trailer's not even really dragging that much, but it is extra weight in the sand. So what we're gonna do for the purpose of this video is we are using this jack, and it has a big flat foot rather than a tire or a wheel like most boats or utility vehicles such as overlanding vehicles will have. So for this purpose, we're gonna hook this up with whatever we have. This came with the kit. We're gonna see if we can use it. We're gonna see if we actually need this black piece or we just take it out. And we are not gonna be using a tow strap, only because we have a lot of cactus in here and I don't wanna have a bunch of cactus in my strap. So we're gonna use our winch off of our Jeep. It's a Warren winch with the Factor 55 hook on it. And then we'll winch it out of here. But the big thing is we're gonna figure out how to MacGyver this so that it doesn't slide back and forth. And we'll probably use these straps We just picked up this cage from Wolfpack UTV. It's for our Can-Am X3. So we'll probably use these straps because you're gonna MacGyver whatever you have. You're gonna utilize different straps and the hooks and who knows what. You never know. Winch lines, you never know what you're gonna end up using. So anyway, let's get to it. We're about to pull this through this little sandy area. This is actually an area that I took sand out with our tractor, and these big ruts are from the tire tracks of the tractor digging in. But you can see it's not flat, so I have no idea what's going to happen when we drag it. And you can see our Jeep back over here, so we'll just hook up the Warren winch up to this, and then we're going to drag it. The only thing I'm concerned about is whether this is going to move around. This foot peg's going to move around, if it's going to slide back and forth. Because once it slides off, you're in trouble. So I think we're better off taking a little bit of extra time and wrapping a strap around it and then pulling the foot down so that it doesn't go left or right. I don't think it'll move forward because it has this ridge right here. And so I feel pretty confident about it. Now, we could have put this flat piece in here, but I'm not sure if the flat piece, it looks like it would have just slid off of it. So I don't know, we're gonna do it like this. We'll put this like here. Let's try it like that. That looks good, huh? I'm gonna find out. Obviously there's different ways to hook this up. I don't even know if there's a specific way. I think it's like anything, just figure out what works for you. What I decided to do, I could have just wrapped it around here, but we got this sharp edge. And I know it's not a ton of weight, but I started thinking it would be better to pull from the frame. So I took this tree hugger, wrapped it up and around, and then I think we're gonna pull from down here rather than up, where it could be putting pressure down harder on the skid. So let's see what happens. So we're using a Max, this is what I had in the Jeep. It's a Max Trax soft shackle in a Factor 55 flat link. And so we're gonna see how this goes. I have no idea how it's gonna go. Load it back up onto the truck because now we're in hard ground. So take off the soft shackle. All right, so we're gonna take this out and we'll go review it back at the house. Looks like it got a little dirt in there. So it looks like it flattened this piece out. So now, can we bend it back? Is it still usable? That's the question. Cool. All right. Hey, we're back in the office now. Just wanted to go over the review of this, the Skid Row. Obviously, we used it for something that it was not designed for. It's designed for boats and trailers with round tires up in the front on the jack. Ours had a great big flat foot peg, and it would have slipped off of this. Now, at the end of the day, did it work? Yeah, 100%. Was it designed for the big foot peg that we had? No. But when you're doing vehicle recoveries, a lot of times it doesn't matter what you have, you're gonna figure out a way to MacGyver the heck out of it. And at the end of the day, if you're deep out in the middle of nowhere and you're by yourself, or it's you and a buddy, you just want to be able to get out. In the event that you could get help, let's say you had to pay somebody, it's going to cost you way more than the cost of this product. And that's how I look at it, is how much is this going to cost me if I have somebody else come and help recover me? If it's going to cost more than the piece that I'm buying, then it's well worth it to buy the piece of equipment. Now, here's what happened here. You can kind of see this is, it definitely bent the plastic. Held up great up in these areas. It was just right up here where the foot peg going through those deep ravines was putting a lot of pressure on the front. Now, if you had a tire, the tire would have just stayed in here within these ridges, and it would have been just fine. Also, if you were to put the tongue, and that's what I understand this is for the tongue, you could have laid the tongue down in there. Now, the trailer, we looked at the weight. The tongue weight on that trailer was at 300 pounds. We had a little gauge that's on the side of the hitch itself, and it showed 300 pounds. So that's quite a bit of weight on a tongue of a trailer. A lot of times you can pick them up yourself and they'll be 100 to 200 pounds, but ours was up near 300. And that has to do a lot with the fact that there's a battery up there and it has the hydraulic ram. So all that extra equipment up in the front of that trailer makes it a lot heavier. Overall, it's still usable. We can use it on our next adventure. It's not damaged in any way underneath. You can kind of see what happened here. I did notice there was a lot of sand that came through this little hole, but you just dump it out. That really didn't matter. I also noticed that I was able, it did turn a little bit to the side when it was going through those deep ravines. We were able to kick it back and straighten it up so that it was continuing straight. But overall, this piece of equipment with the Krazy Beaver shovel, you'll be able to get unstuck, plus a winch, good worn winch. You'll be able to get yourself unstuck out of any situation. There you have it, Skid Row.